Hey guys, welcome back to Trading with Jen. Welcome to the new week, guys. This week's topic is going to be top five most traded strategies 2026. Alrighty, guys, we are currently looking at Trade Locker. For everybody that's not familiar with Trade Locker, this is very similar to a platform called TradingView. I know majority of this they start learning off of TradingView, but this is pretty much just like it, very similar. There's only a few capabilities that one can do over the other, but needless to say, this is pretty much identical. Okay. Now we are currently looking at currently looking at gold on a 1 hour time frame. Okay, top five trading strategies. First one up is going to be trendline trader. Okay, what is a trendline trader is all it is these particular traders are just looking to capitalize on down movements or bullish movements. That is the only thing they're looking into capitalize. So people that are bullish, sorry, onto a trend, okay, all they're essentially looking for is buys. They don't care about sell trades. They don't care about any of that. All they're looking for is where can I position myself in order to get into that buy trade, okay, and vice versa. If they speculate downtrend right now, I'm only looking into getting into sells. Okay, based on my previous videos, guys, this is the most simplified way that you guys can draw trend lines without getting any confusion. Okay? If the trend is going down, draw the trend line on the top. Okay, watch how many times it hits it before an actual breakout happens. And whenever it's bullish, draw the trend line on the bottom. Okay, to make it a little bit better, color it. Okay, so you know that once it starts coming into a downtrend, you know it's gonna need to break this trend right here or whatever, and then come into a new lower low and so forth. Okay, so number one, trend line trader, guys. Secondly, we have breakout traders. Breakout, I should say strategists, not traders. The breakout strategy, and then trend line strategy. Okay, what is a breakout strategy? A breakout structure only happens throughout a trend, guys. Okay, a trend unless we're having a change of character, which is going from one trend into another. But a breakout structure looks more like this onto an uptrend. Okay, we have resistances up here. Resistance is always on top, support's always on the bottom, by the way, guys. So we have resistances right here every time it creates a new higher high. Okay? Every time it creates a new higher high, we have resistance at this moment. Okay. The moment it breaks out, a breakout strategy, you can do two things. Okay. We have traders that actually traded the moment it breaks through that resistance. Okay, and they're just kind of going in with momentum along with it. Or second one would be a breakout. They wait until a retest to fully maximize into a new higher high for that bullish trend. Okay, that's pretty much almost and very close similar to what a trend line strategy is, right? Whenever it's going up, you want to focus on the higher lows, and then whenever it's going down, you want to focus more on the lower highs. Okay? Number three, guys, we got traders that like to trade support and resistance. Support and resistance strategy. Okay, what is support and resistance strategy? Remember, resistance is always going to be on top, and meanwhile, support is always going to be on the bottom. Okay? Just like this. Whenever the trend is actually going down, it's actually breaking through supports to create a new lower low, quote unquote, another support, and vice versa. Whenever it's uptrending, it's breaking through those higher highs, right? As it creates those higher lows and so forth. It's just a nicely put, well, market structure. Okay, so what happens on these support and resistances? That's more of like a pullback trading. Whenever you're on an uptrend and you're about to encounter a resistance, there's traders that like to trade the bounce back off of it. So quote unquote, what we also call a pullback into the market. You know it's in an uptrend, it's approaching a resistance zone. One or two things can happen at that resistance, right? It's either going to break right through it or it's going to bounce right off of it. But depending on what time frame you're executing, if you're catching that pullback, yes, whenever there's that strong resistance on those higher time frames, you want to be able to get into an entry to get that bounce and grab that pullback as it creates that new higher low. Number four, guys. What is number four here? We have a mean, I call it a mean revision. Okay, so a mean revision. Okay, this is more of like technical based. So it's more kind of like technical indicators. Now, indicators are actually pretty good. It's not something to really rely on. You still want to be able to get familiarized with price action, obviously. Technical indicators are there to help you pivot and build your confidence as you guys are going into this trading journey. And they act as a confluence, guys, okay? So what does it mean, revision? One of the technical indicators that can fall within this category is like stochastic or like, oh, here it is, RSI, a relative strength index. We know when the market is overbought, oversold, we have to like catch the other one, going the other way, sorry. For instance, right up here on the RSI, we know this is an overbought area. There's been too many buyers. So what happens when there's too many buyers? Sellers are going to start coming in. Okay? Boom. That is what a mean revision is. It just kind of hits around that overbought area and we know it's going to come down. And vice versa, whenever it hits an oversold area. An oversold area, all that means is that there's been too many sellers. The market eventually needs to come back up and correct itself or whatever it's trying to do at that moment. But yes, it would bounce out of the oversold area and then buyers would start coming in. That is a mean revision, guys. It has to do with technical indicators. For the ones that say indicators lag, yes, it looks like they do lag on a higher time frame, but not to invalidate what happens on a smaller time frame. There's obviously a lot more movement. So yes, the indicators are going to be a little bit more flowing on a smaller time frame versus the bigger one because obviously it takes time for it to build, right? So to each on their own, that is one of the most common ones that's being used up until this day, 2026. Okay. Number five, guys, would be momentum. Momentum strategy. These particular traders, they like to capitalize on things such as when there's major movements. Okay. What does major movements look like? Basically, these really long candles. And usually when things like this happen, there's like a major impact. There's something going on within fundamentals that you really want to pay attention to that to see what's really driving that particular candle that vicious. Okay, that is momentum. When they see that perfect momentum, um, just knowing the fundamentals behind it, you guys are able to capitalize on that. Okay, so we have momentum traders. Not everybody does everything. Everybody just kind of picks and chooses exactly what really fits them, right? Just because somebody else is doing it or whatnot does not mean force yourself to do it. Stick to the things that that really flows with your mindset at the moment until you can gradually try to adapt to new strategies that may fit you better in the long run. But yes, that is the top five trading strategies 2026, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Um, Again, if you guys found this very informational, don't forget to click like and follow for more, guys. Oh, and by the way, also, guys, I am planning on doing live calls into my trading group. I'm fairly new within the space, and so I've been trying to build my back end. But needless to say, guys, I am working on it. I will drop my links in the descriptions for Discord, and you guys want to find me on Instagram, it's all gonna be right under there. And also, if you guys don't know what broker to use, guys, I do have one completely optional. And yeah, I will see you guys next week.